this video, I'm going to demonstrate two-color Fisherman's rib, and it's a stitch that's pretty easy to work that ends up looking a lot like brioche stitch, like two-color brioche stitch, which is very popular right now. And I want to, well, I'm going to give you a little background on this video, but first I have a free download to go with this. If you click the little eye in the upper right-hand corner, that'll take you to my website. There's a free Ravelry download for the instructions for this. Working it in the round is really easy and just kind of like normal Fisherman's rib, but the working it flat is actually a 4-row repeat, and you'll probably want the written instructions. I know that I do. Now I want to give a little background on this. My plan was to put together a little project of two-color brioche stitch because brioche stitch is really popular right now. It's not that easy to work, and so I thought a little project with a little bit of practice would be something to help people get into the groove of brioche stitch. Well, I was putting together this tutorial and I remembered something. I don't like working the brioche stitch. It is, I think it's kind of dreadful. If you love it, more power to you. You're a stronger knitter than I am, but it takes a lot of attention, and if you mess up and even just try to tink back, it's not that easy. And if you mess up and you don't notice it for a while, it's almost impossible to repair your work. The secret is proactive lifelines, and I'll give you a link to that video if you want to see it. Anyway, so I was getting frustrated, and I'm like, I'm going to figure this out with Fisherman's rib because I love working Fisherman's rib, and it's this awesome smushy stitch that feels really good, and it ends up looking a lot like brioche stitch, and it's much easier to work. So that's how this video ended up being what it is. But enough talking. I want to show you what this looks like. Let's go and take a look. Okay, this is one side of two-color Fisherman's rib, and you can see we have all the ribs in one color, and if you pull it apart, we have the second color in there. And then the cool thing about this is on the other side, you have the other color in the rib, and if you pull it apart, you see the solid green behind it. Now, Fisherman's rib is a thick, smooshy stitch. It's excellent for hats and scarves just because there is, it's not heavy, but it's just kind of bulky, and it holds a lot of air, and it's really warm, and it is fun to work. So this is I did this in these two colors of yarn, a solid color and a variegated yarn, and that's how I got this cool effect with the stripes and the solid on the other side. And here it is in the round, and working it in the round is really excuse me. Working it in the round is really simple. You just alternate every other round with the other color, and you get the ribs in one color on one side and the other color on the other side. I'm not sure it would make a reversible hat with the decreases, but it is, again, a nice, smooshy, thick stitch. This is actually my pattern for Fisherman's rib hat and scarf set, these two pieces that I've just shown you. In the round, it's the hat knit exactly as written, except for alternating colors every other round. Working the stitch in the round is really easy. It's working it flat that is a little more difficult. And I'll tell you, after I'd been working on this video for a couple of days, knitting up these pieces, I Googled it, and I saw that other people have also figured this stitch out. So I'm the first in my mind, but then I saw other people have figured it out too. Their instructions are maybe a bit different than mine, but this is what I have. So I have this little bit of knitting here to demonstrate this, and I wanted to leave this at just 4 rows so I could show you something. When you just have a little bit of knitting, it doesn't look that great. It's only when you start getting more rows that it starts looking really clear and perfect. So don't be discouraged when you're doing this and it doesn't look all that great when you're first starting. Just keep going. So when you work this, you need to do it on double pointed needles or circular needle because we're going to work across with one color, slide the stitches to this end of the needle, across with the next color, then turn the work and do the same thing. So you have to be able to slide the stitches to the other end of the needle, so DPNs or circulars are necessary. And what I've done here is I've cast on an odd number of stitches using the dark color of yarn, and then I worked the 4-row repeat, attaching the light color of yarn in row 1. And this is all in the written instructions. So let me go ahead and show you how this works. Anytime you're using a different color of yarn, this is how I always do it so that the edges of my work look consistent. I always pull the color I'm going to use out from the bottom forward like this, and it gives you a nice twist on the edge. I have a selvage stitch, which is a knit one, and now I'm going to purl one below. So I'm going to yarn forward for that, and you see this little yellow strand here is the kind of the scarf around the neck of the purl stitch. I just want to come in behind right under that and purl one. And then the pattern is just knit one, purl one below, right under that horizontal bar on the stitch. Okay, we end with a knit one. Now, normally what we do is turn the work here. This time we're not going to. We're going to slide the stitches to the other end of the needle and work row 2 with the dark color of yarn. And we always knit the first stitch. And this pattern repeat is purl one and then knit one below. And what I want to do is not look at the stitch on the needle. I want to look at the V right under that stitch, and I want to put my needle right in the middle of that V. So purl one, knit one below, right into the V under that stitch. Purl one and then knit one. Okay, now we actually turn the work. And every time, well, the instructions that I have, you can flip-flop if you want to have the lighter color of the cast on, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it as I have it in the written instructions. You always start with the light color first and then the dark color across the row. And just like I showed you before, you pull that color from under and then up to use it, so you have nice edges. So the third row of the repeat is knit one below, so I'm going right into the V there, P, purl one, knit one below, purl one, knit one below, and then knit one. For row 4, we slide everything back over and we're ready to work the dark color across. Knit the edge stitch, then knit one, and then purl one below again. So I'm going to yarn forward for this. I see the bar across, the scarf around the neck of that purl stitch. I want to, from the back, come right in under there, and then knit one, purl one below. You know, it's a pretty easy stitch to memorize, but I'll tell you, of all these pieces that you see here that I've been working on, I didn't memorize it. I kept the instructions with me the whole time. Do you know what? I just messed up though. You get to watch me do some repair work here when I started talking. I started doing purl one. There's my purl one below. Okay. I just tinked back, undoing the stitches. Whoops, no, I had that right. That's what I get for talking. And then you end with knit 2 on row 4. Okay. Straighten that out a little bit. And now that I have 4 more rows from this piece when I first started it, you can see it's starting to look a little better, especially on this side. But those first 4 rows do not look very good. So you can use this 2-color technique anytime you're working Fisherman's Rib. Again, if you click the little eye, I do have a pattern for a hat and scarf set in Fisherman's Rib, but you can just cast on any odd number of stitches and work with 2 different colors of yarn, like I've showed you here in this little scarf piece. That is it. Click the little eye for your free download. Good luck.